This is your AP Government video on the Incumbency Advantage. Remember that an incumbent is somebody who's running for re-election. They already hold the office, but they're running for another term. The incumbency advantage is very strong in the United States for offices that do not have term limits, so for members of the House and Senate. This would not apply to the presidency because the president is limited to 2 terms according to the 22nd Amendment. But for members of the House and Senate, incumbency is very strong. It's in fact the greatest influence on whether somebody will win or lose an election. Of course, not all incumbents win, but it's a very strong set of statistics that show that they will. About 80% of members of the Senate will win re-election, and about 90% of members of the House of Representatives will win re-election. Now, here's one of the reasons. Incumbents, because they have such a strong percentage of winning, it means that a lot of people don't want to run for office against an incumbent. So if you're a really good candidate and you would like to get into a Senate race, it would be very hard for you to unseat a current senator. So that means a lot of times they wait or choose not to run. And therefore, the people who run against somebody who's already an incumbent senator tend to be pretty weak candidates. Some other things that add to the incumbency advantage: the franking privilege. Members of the Senate and House have free use of the Postal Service, so they can send mail to people in their district for free. If you are not a current member of the House or Senate, you would have to pay for all of your campaign mailings. Now, members of the House and Senate cannot send campaign information using the franking privilege. That would have to come out of their campaign funds. But you could send something on all of the great things that you did during your last years. It just can't have information on it that says vote for me or don't vote for my opponent. A lot of times state governments have gerrymandered safe seats. When they're doing redistricting for the House of Representatives, they can draw those district lines around neighborhoods which vote for a certain candidate in large numbers, thus giving them a safe way to win re-election. So sometimes seats are created specifically for parties and sometimes for specific candidates. People who already have experience in the job have done casework, and this is work that they've done on behalf of constituents. If a constituent emailed you and were having a lot of difficulty with something and you helped them out, they're more likely to vote for you. In fact, they might even use you as an example in a campaign speech on one of the great things they've done, or they might even ask you to be in one of their political advertisements. People who are incumbents have really strong name recognition, and there's a lot of statistics that show that people vote for names that they recognize, even if they don't remember who the candidate is or why they remember them. So you could remember somebody because they did something terrible or went to jail. Those people still tend to win more often than names that are brand new that we don't know as well. And because you're far more likely to win statistically, it's actually easier to fundraise. A lot of people that donate really big money, particularly interest groups and political action committees, donate money to the candidate they think is going to win the election. Because once you're in the office and the law that they care about comes up, they want a seat at the table to have their opinion as part of your thought process on whether a bill should be passed or not. So they want to donate to the candidate who will be in office, even if they disagree with their politics. So that way, a lot of times PACs and interest groups actually give to the candidate who's most likely to win, even if it's not from the party that they like best.